Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. They need a big man, and in the summer they will have the opportunity to sign a new player. Rumors: Warriors are interested in signing Thomas Bryant to have size on the court. The Golden State Warriors could give Thomas Bryant the fair shake he deserves in the NBA. Bryant is slated for unrestricted free agency this summer once he comes off of his $2.8 million salary this season. The 8-year veteran is a gargantuan center who could add size, floor spacing, high energy, and athleticism to the Warriors' frontcourt. Golden State needs a big man who can bring those qualities, plus rim protection to the floor for them. Bryant has only seen north of 21 minutes per game twice in his NBA tenure. That came in the 2019-20 and 2020-21 campaigns for the Washington Wizards. He has not been able to enjoy a featured role for long, which he may deserve. The New York native averaged 13.4 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 block per game on 59.3% shooting from the field and 41.1% shooting from the free throw line. This season, the 27-year-old boasts 7.7 points and 4.4 rebounds a night for the Indiana Pacers across 16.1 minutes of action per contest. A center who wears his heart on his sleeve and brings intensity to the court could greatly serve the Warriors. As a cost-effective, low-risk option, Bryant could amplify Golden State's pick-and-roll and further their rise back to contention next season. Warriors' championship chances may not be as great as we think. The Warriors' record with Jimmy Butler is impressive, but their strength of schedule has been soft. The Golden State Warriors seem to have found a new energy. They're 5-1 with Jimmy Butler on the roster and have been winning games and talking with a new sense of swagger. Things are exciting in Golden State. Players like Draymond Green are already proclaiming the Dubs are going to win another championship, and Butler himself seemed to back up Green's confidence. That being said, the Warriors haven't proved much yet. Should we be holding our horses on the Warriors' championship conversation? The Warriors' record with Jimmy Butler is hard to ignore. 5-1 is nothing to sneer at. On top of that, these wins have looked relatively easy, and the entire roster looks invigorated by Butler's presence. In those 6 games, the Warriors are 6th in the league in offensive rating and 4th in defensive rating. That is the making of an elite team, so there is no wonder why Green and Warrior fans are starting to talk about a championship. One knock on that discourse, however, is that the Warriors have yet to really be tested. Of their 5 wins, only one of them was against a current playoff team, that was the Bucks, who were playing without Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can only beat who is in front of you, but still, the Warriors have had an easy transition into the Butler era. It doesn't look like they will be tested much anytime soon either. Between now and the end of March, the Warriors' schedule looks to be fairly easy. From now until April 2nd, their most difficult games are 2 against the Knicks, 1 against the Bucks, and 1 against the Nuggets. Every other team they play over that stretch is either out of the playoff picture or is fighting to stay out of the play-in tournament. When will we know if a Warriors championship is possible? To finish out the season, the Warriors have the 2nd easiest strength of schedule in the Western Conference. This is great as far as the Warriors getting solid seeding for a playoff run, but it may not show us much as far as their resilience at being tested by contending teams. It may not be until the playoffs start that we see how good the Warriors really are. Veterans like Stephen Curry, Green and Butler aren't going to be afraid of anyone, but do they all have enough left in the tank to hang with the young and up-and-coming contenders in the West? Time will tell. Kevin Durant's unapologetic message on controversial Golden State Warriors stint. Kevin Durant stunned the NBA when he signed with the Golden State Warriors in free agency back in 2016. The move was not popular among fans, with many claiming that Durant was simply chasing rings. However, it doesn't seem like the outside opinions of his time with the team weigh on the legendary forward all that much. Durant, who now plays for the Phoenix Suns, spent 3 seasons with the Warriors, winning 2 titles with them before he suffered a torn Achilles in the 2019 NBA Finals. Durant could have gotten traded back to Golden State ahead of the trade deadline this year, but he blew up the deal at the last minute. As far as the Warriors, I didn't want to move, and a player like me, I cost a lot. Me going to your team, it's going to be a whole new era to your team when I get to your team, Durant said when explaining his decision on the Draymond Green show with Baron Davis. I get why y'all want to trade me and why y'all looking at it. It just doesn't make sense for either side right now to go through it. We play the season out, and if that's the decision the Suns want to make in the offseason, then you figure it out. It's just such a big change to make, and I've been through it before, and I'm like, that ain't really it. The Warriors ended up pivoting after Durant turned them down, pulling off a blockbuster trade with the Miami Heat for Jimmy Butler instead. When looking back at his time with Golden State, Durant knows his time with the team is viewed poorly, but he doesn't care how fans feel about his decision. I'm sure some people are not going to let it go, Durant said on the Draymond Green show with Baron Davis. I don't think they're going to forget that I went to Warriors. That's gonna always be the talking point when it comes to my career, but I don't give a expletive. We did some incredible things, and we had some of the most fun times in my life. Durant remains one of the top scorers in the NBA, as he's averaging 26.9 points per game on 53% shooting from the field this season. Still, the Suns have just a 27-31 record this season, good for only 11th place in the Western Conference. Warriors become 5th franchise to win 3,000 games. With Andre Iguodala's jersey retirement this week, call the Dubs Andre 3000. The Golden State Warriors just casually dropped a 128-92 beatdown on the Charlotte Hornets, and while routing a short-handed team on a Tuesday night might not seem especially spectacular, this wasn't just any ordinary win. This was win number 3,000 in franchise history, placing the Dubs in basketball's most exclusive club alongside the Celtics, Lakers, Knicks, and 76ers. Let that marinate for a second. Only 5 franchises in NBA history have hit this milestone. The Warriors just strutted into basketball immortality while barely breaking a sweat. What makes this accomplishment so deliciously satisfying is remembering where this franchise came from. For the youngsters who only know Dynasty Warriors, let me take you on a quick history lesson. This organization was once considered the laughingstock of the league. The wilderness years between Run TMC and the Splash Brothers featured more punchlines than playoff appearances. From Philly to the Bay, the Warriors' journey spans 78 years of hoops history. Born in 1946 as the Philadelphia Warriors, they claimed the inaugural BAA championship in 1947, before the NBA even existed as we know it. Their first official NBA victory came against the Boston Celtics in November 1948, a 94-73 win that would be the first brick in this 3,000-win monument. The Butler effect. How perfect is it that this milestone coincides with the team's sudden revival? Since acquiring Jimmy Butler, the Warriors are 6-1 and looking like a completely different squad. The immediate Butler bump feels like destiny for a franchise that's mastered the art of the midseason acquisition. Remember when we got Andrew Bogut? Or Andre Iguodala? Speaking of Iguodala, it's poetic that this 3,000th win arrives shortly after the team retired his number 9 jersey at Chase Center. The connective tissue between Warriors eras keeps strengthening. Witness to history. When Buddy Hield dropped a team-high 16 points off the bench to lead the balanced attack Tuesday night, he probably didn't realize he was etching his name into a historical footnote. Steph Curry and Draymond Green each contributed 15 points to the milestone victory, fitting considering how central they'd been to the team's modern resurrection. Green's post-game reflection captured the journey perfectly. Just to be a part of this rich history of this franchise, And also helping revive and bring this franchise back to prominence has been a journey, an incredible journey. That's what makes this 3,000th win feel more significant than just a round number. It's not just about quantity, it's about the quality of the storytelling. The Warriors' tale has more plot twists than a prestige HBO series, more character development than most novels. From Philadelphia to Golden State. The franchise transformations tell America's story in miniature. From Philadelphia beginnings with Wilt Chamberlain breaking records, to San Francisco in 1962, and finally becoming the Golden State Warriors in 1971, the team's geography parallels the country's westward evolution. Those 3,000 wins span 37 playoff appearances, 6 NBA championships, countless iconic moments. From Wilt's 100-point game to Rick Barry's underhanded free throws to Run TMC to We Believe to the Splash Brothers dynasty, this franchise has provided some of basketball's most unforgettable chapters. Beyond the numbers. What makes the Warriors' 3,000 wins special isn't just the quantity but the quality. We're talking about a franchise that revolutionized basketball twice, first with Al Attle's emphasis on team basketball in the 70s, then with Kerr's motion offense and positionless small ball that transformed the modern game. Now sitting 8th in the Western Conference at 31-27, these Warriors aren't content with historical footnotes. As Draymond put it, it's special, but we've got a lot more work to do. That's the Warriors' DNA right there, appreciating history while chasing the future. For a franchise once mocked, now envied, reaching 3,000 wins isn't just a milestone. It's validation that excellence, persistence, and innovation eventually pay off. From Philadelphia to San Francisco to Golden State, through 78 years and countless roster iterations, the Warriors have built something truly extraordinary. The team that once couldn't get free agents to return their calls now stands as basketball royalty. And somewhere, Chris Cohan is probably wondering how he managed to own the most valuable sports property on the planet and still be remembered as the guy who nearly ruined it all. 3,000 wins down. Countless more to go. The Warriors' story keeps getting better, and if the Jimmy Butler era is any indication, the next 1,000 might come faster than anyone expects.